Good day. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Douglas Harder, and this is the third in a series of talks on Morse code. In the last two talks, we've seen a new technique for memorizing Morse code. It's based on associating words with each letter, symbol, punctuation, or number, and it uses image processing in your brain. A PDF is linked to in the comments that describes this technique. This series is going to be concluded with this talk, which describes other aspects, including timing, procedure signs, training applications, and learning how to receive Morse code. Now, the unit of timing in Morse code is the time it takes to send a dot. That is the unit. The space between dots and dashes is equal to that unit of time. So the space should be the same as the time it takes to send a dot. A dash should take 3 units of time to send. The space between different letters should equal the time it takes to send a dash. While the space between 2 words should be 7 units of time, or the time it takes to send the letter M, 2 dashes. Now, one word in Morse code is defined as 50 dots, and this is based on the word Paris with a trailing interword space. Now, if you want to achieve 12 words per minute in Morse code, then a dot should take approximately 1/10 of a second. So therefore, the phrase "hi there" will be sent in about just over 5 seconds. However, you're only going to be able to achieve this with practice. Now, another aspect of Morse code are procedure signs. Procedure signs are remembered by running together characters. So for example, you may wish to indicate the start of a message or the end of a message. You indicate the start of a message by sending dash dot dash dot dash. However, notice that this is a C followed by P. Alternatively, instead of remembering a CT, you could remember it as a K followed by an A. The end of a message is indicated by dot dash dot dash dot. Again, an A juxtaposed with an R. Now, the one procedure sign or pro sign that you're most familiar with is SOS, but it is not sent as an S with a distinct O followed by a distinct S. Instead, as it is a procedure sign, there's no space. There's only a minimal space between the letters. Now, as far as training software is concerned, the best training software I've found is the Morse Code Trainer by Todd Anderson. It's a very nice program. It's available on Android, and it may be available for iPad or iPods, iPhones, whatever. There's one weakness. It can't really estimate your speed. It's free, but you can purchase one that gives the programmer, Todd, a 99-cent donation. Now, receiving Morse code is more difficult than learning to send it. One idea that appears on the web is the idea of creating this tree in your mind and then following it as you hear the Morse code. So if you hear a dot followed by a dash and a dash, you follow the left tree for a dot followed by a dash, and that would be the letter W. Guess what? The human brain doesn't work like that. That's too slow. When you hear the word magazine or you see the word magazine written down, you neither hear the individual components magazine and process them individually, nor do you read the individual letters of the word magazine and process them individually. Instead, your mind has learned to treat them as a single unit. Well, guess what? You have to do the same with Morse code. You have to learn to recognize the letters as a whole. In fact, expert Morse code receivers appear to recognize not just letters, but entire words simply by the sequence of dots and dashes. To learn to receive Morse code proficiently, you must first become proficient at sending. Learn to send at about 5 to 6 words per minute. Now, after about a week of practice in the evenings, not much actually, I was able to, with my technique, get up to about 8 words per minute. After this, you can use the Morse Code Trainer by using the training receiving aspect of the training program. To start, don't use the defaults. Instead, set level to 26. You're already familiar with all of the letters in the alphabet, so let's start with all of the letters of the alphabet. Set the burst length to 1 and the total burst to 3. This will send an individual character followed by an interword spacing, followed by another, followed by an interword spacing, followed by a third letter. This allows you to hear the individual distinct characters, and it will allow you to recognize them. Hint: write down your answers on paper. I find that's easier than finding the key on the keyboard. That's just easier for me. If you want, you can then either increase the total number of bursts or increase the burst length. Increasing the burst length will then give you, say, 2 characters with an inter-letter spacing instead of an inter-word spacing. That will help you become more familiar with Morse code. As you become more and more proficient, you can increase both the burst length and the total number of bursts. All right. This concludes a series of 3 talks on learning Morse code. The first 2 talks introduced a new technique for remembering Morse code by associating each character with either a word or a phrase. In that word or phrase, short characters represented dots, tall characters and capital letters represented dashes. We concluded by other aspects of Morse code, including timing, pro signs or procedure signs, training software, and learning how to receive Morse code. In the comments, there's a link to a PDF that you can refer to. These are my references. So thank you for listening. Have a good day and cheers.